273. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. A great show yesterday. And good morning, John.
Good morning.
Right, good to see you as well. And I'm keeping an eye out this week. I've reserved a seat for Mr. Stephen Silk if he turns up. So I shall check every few minutes or so to see whether he's there. If you're watching us live, thank you. If you're catching the replay, then you're going to be regaled by tales of what's happening in the UK and around the globe based on stories published by the BBC. So an official welcome to the show while John opens his drink noisily. And
I know, bought it already.
And this is Blabbing for Britain, episode 273. Time flies. And we were just talking a moment ago about people who crossed our path in the last 5.25 years and trying to find them. If you know somebody who had a very posh camper van who used to broadcast with us, then do let us know. Otherwise, the search will continue. All right. Okay. Where to begin?
Suits has got to be the wet place to begin, hasn't it?
What is?
Suits.
Oh, yeah. Do you know, well, yeah, I'll mention that. I was just saying to Sheila this morning, the Queen has played a blinder. I want to wear an admiral suit, vice admiral. No, wear this, wear that. And she just said, you will all wear suits. Well done, Your Majesty. Well done. You have never put a foot wrong. Back to you.
I mean, the Queen holds a special place in our lives. To be serving for 68 years as Queen of the country, and to keep things going. And Prince Philip died over the weekend, and I think a feeling of sadness, but a feeling that he was somebody who actually at all points served his country, and the funeral is on Saturday, and it will be a national day of remembrance of somebody who gave everything to the Queen and to his country.
Yeah.
Let me just say good morning to Chris. And good morning, Chris. Right, okay. Now, we've not had this for a while, but I'm just trying to get to grips with what actually happened here. But Greensill, Cameron says he'll respond positively to MP's lobbying inquiry. Can somebody unravel this? Because this is...
John, can you unravel it?
I'm not sure quite at all what he even matters about, but never mind. I'm just okay. Don't know. Perhaps he's prepared to give evidence of what he has done and hasn't done.
The thing is, this guy was working for the government in some sort of capacity, working for the government, but he was also employed by Greensill, who was a friend of Mr. Cameron's. Yeah?
Yeah.
So while he was working there, he was also working there. And it caused a bit of a problem because there was a text and smacks of jobs for the boys type of thing, you know? Now, I think what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to really raise the MP's pay. You know, you'll go, they get enough. No, not really for the jobs that they do around the country. Raise their pay, have no other interests. Their only interest should be the country, and not allowed to take outside jobs.
I'm a bit confused because it's a civil servant that's being accused of having two jobs, not an MP.
Well, okay, well, a civil servant too.
Cameron had ceased to be an MP when he became a Greensill employee.
But it's not him, it was a Greensill, it was the other guy.
Just a sec. Goodbye.
Right.
Dear.
If you're working for a
But
civil servant,
I mean, I agree with what you said, Peter, because they should be focused purely on representing their constituents who elected them into Parliament. They should be paid sufficiently so they don't have to go after third-party deals whilst they're in Parliament. What they do before and after is up to them. And this is a situation where certainly, whilst it may not be illegal, it is, in my eyes, immoral to actually do activities which yes, take advantage of the situation you're in. Okay, the political session you're in, to actually gain monetary advantage for yourself and others.
so if you're a civil servant, you're told that's your job. If you want to work in a bar or something like that weekends, you must declare that interest. You say what you're doing. If you say you're going to work for a lobbying group at the same time, say, well, I'm sorry, you can't do that because it might have a tinge of problems later on with that, where there could be accusations and things. So, no, you're not getting that job. Yeah? You can do that job, but not that job. Yeah, declare their interests. You know,
But it may be shutting the gate of the stable door after the horse has bolted, but that's exactly what they've done this week, is ask every civil servant to declare any other job they may have.
a difficult one, but that's the
Well,
world.
you're quite right. It was Cameron to Rishi, hey mate. But haven't we all been guilty of doing something like that?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Probably not.
we're not in that position. We're not in that position. Okay, right. My biggest news of the week is on show at the moment. I rushed off Monday morning, first thing, to the hairdressers. I feel a lot better for it, and I feel human again. And so does Angelica. I think it makes such a huge difference to the way you feel about yourself. And I got there to the Turkish hairdressers, and there were 8 people already in there, and I was the 9th. But they had 3 hairdressers on, and they made short work of it. I was out within the hour, and as I say, excellent. John, what happened to you? What hasn't happened to you yet?
Well, I haven't had a haircut because I've watched all the idiots standing in queues and thought, well, next week I won't have to stand in a queue. And I've been like this for weeks and, well, months. What difference is one more week going to make?
Funny enough, I went to Turkish as well, but I didn't go the first day because he said he was inundated. And when I arrived, the guy, he knows me, I was in, and it was quite quick, and I had a good. No, you're right. It's lovely having a haircut. Makes you feel a new person. Then getting the lemon spray put over your hair. I bought some of the lemon spray in the house, and I put it on just. Can you smell it? I just put it on before I come in, and it just makes you feel so alive. Gives you a zest, if you pardon the pun.
Yeah, I mean, you cycle faster when your hair's shorter. You think?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just saying, John, I'd done 17 miles yesterday, and usually I come home and I'm absolutely shattered, and that's me for the day. I stayed awake when I come home, and I felt really, really refreshed. And I'm getting up hills that, no, not struggles, but no, they took out. But I'm using this stuff called MCT oil before I go out, and I'm sure that's really helping me. It gives you strength. Hi, UK Video First. Hello.
Hello, Corinda. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Blabbing for a Written, episode 273. Thank you, Corinda. Good to see you. All right. Okay. So where do we go from there? There's not much actually happening at the moment. Right. Okay. Now, COVID-19 vaccine passports could create 2-tier society, equality watchdog warns. Now, when we spoke about this before, I thought, well, it's the I've had the vaccine, I've not had the vaccine, I've got a piece of paper to prove it, I don't know anything. And I thought, well, if you've not had the vaccine, then it's your choice. And it would create a two-tier system, because people who have the vaccine credentials or passport are able to go to music concerts, to football games, cricket matches, whereas those without won't be able to.
Yeah.
But there are a group of people who, for medical reasons, can't have the vaccine.
Mhm.
And they're the ones that are being mentioned as losing out if there is a vaccine passport. So it's people who can't have the vaccine for medical reasons who would become second-class citizens.
But would they, if they've got an exemption certificate?
We'd have to get the
Your
exemption,
proposal is, if you can't, you get an exemption certificate.
which you would have to show. Which,
Do you know what the problem is?
Why is that any different from me having to show that I've had 2 stabs in the arm?
If you look in YouTube and things, it's disgraceful things that happen. Say I was exempt and I've got my badge on. People are still going up to people. You should be doing this. You should, but I'm exempt. It doesn't matter. You should be wearing it. And it's ended up fights and everything, you know.
But you can get a lanyard
yes, I
at
know.
most of the major supermarkets that you can hang over your neck, and people can visually see then that you're exempt.
Yeah. But some people won't wear them.
and indeed, I mean, there
Their own decision, surely.
now there are connotations here of stars.
Yeah. Yellow ones.
Yeah, yellow stars, and that is totally wrong.
Oh, I'll tell you what happened to us yesterday. We got a phone call. Sheila's sister was a nurse who retired. Her husband's a doctor. She had the vaccine. She's in her bed, and she's covered in spots head to toe.
Mm.
So they've called her in to give blood. So, you know, until you meet somebody that you don't know if it is the vaccine, but it's funny that that's happened after getting the vaccine. So it's a problem. I think we'll all take our chances. We do our bit for the community, and you're right. No, there's an old man went for a pint and they wouldn't let him in. And they said, you're not getting in, because he says, I don't even have a phone to show you this app thing. I'm wanting a pint. It's no,
I mean, sorry, Peter.
No, on you go.
No,
Well,
I just
you don't have to be an old man for that to be the situation. I've got a 31-year-old lad who has a candy bar phone and can't display half the things that the rest of us can, because he's not bothered about having a fantastic duper duper phone. He just wants people to be able to call him.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's not just age about phones. It can be any age.
Sheila, I bought one of those granted phones with massive buttons, because she used to annoy me, and I bought it, and she took it to her work, and all the other nurses were making a fool of her. She said, I'm not taking that back in. They made a fool of me.
right,
So she got a new S20. She got an S20. I'm going to steal it.
point from Corinda, which I'd like to tackle. 2 points. One, since he came back from hospital, his meds are messing him up, and can only empathise with that. And the second point, which I'll bring on screen if I can, is people with COVID vaccines. Some people are dying on the news, so I thought it was supposed to work. The vaccine is very effective, but it's not 100% effective, is it? It's about 97%, something like that, John.
They're not claiming that anybody's died from the vaccine, but 6 people have developed blood clots, and the blood clots have gone on to kill 2 of the 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the actual vaccine that's killing anybody, is it?
So the problem is, Corinda, it's the news. The news is looking for all the bad things in life. What's bad today? What's bad today? And let's work our way around that. So just calm down. Take your time.
Let's take point piece. They have to be ultra cautious, and if any anomaly does turn up, they need to check it out, but they need to announce it as well so that people know. There are countries that have stopped giving a particular vaccine, and then we discover in America that the Johnson & Johnson one has similar side effects for a very, very small proportion of people.
Yeah.
0.00002%. I might have missed a zero out there. So
did you see the news going, not vaccine, but the actual pandemic? Did you see the news that they said the deaths were overinflated?
Well, they've been saying that all the way along. I mean,
thousands.
Phil, where my lad works, a gentleman died of a heart attack. It still said COVID on his death certificate.
That's right.
He hadn't had COVID at all, you know.
Yeah. No, here's the problem with that. Say you had a life policy and you died young, 40, 42, and you'd been run over by a bus, and his widow goes to claim the money and says, wait a minute, insurance company goes, COVID's on here. We're not paying out. Has anybody thought of that?
Nope. Very possible. Back to Chris and John. Would you like to read this one?
It says, I only go to hairdressers on holidays, but 3 times they must close from the government. So I still have my COVID coupe since January 2020. I had to go and look the other side because it didn't.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you look forward to holidays.
I can tell Chris that she shouldn't worry, because I think you all know that Celia has had to shelter because of her heart issues. Celia has not had her haircut since March 2020.
Yeah.
And it is, as someone who likes it almost short back and side, has got her hair 8 inches down her back now.
Yeah. And the other things, it was a bit in the paper the other day about women who have decided to stay grey. Their hair's growing great, and they're going to keep it like that. Because some people pay 250 quid to get their hair dyed. What's that all about? I would get a brush from my shoe polish and do it for them for half the price. But remember then, the Kiwi thing?
Kiwi polish.
Yeah. No.
There are various shades of grey, Peter. I think there's a book title in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, I quite like mine now. I think I'm looking quite handsome with my weight loss and my chiseled chin. Yes.
The thing is, if you went with the Grecian 2000 scenario, you never stop buying it. Okay,
Yeah,
and even if you suddenly turn dark-haired overnight, people think, what the hell are they trying to do?
I know, because I often sit with Sheila wherever we're out and I'm saying, is that guy wearing a wig? Or is that guy? Is that dyed here? Although, come on, I'll say, dyed here. It's dyed. It's dyed. I've just accepted it now, you know?
Yeah, we should all.
But as long as it's trimmed like this, I hated when it was long. It was horrible. Maybe Stephen Silk's away for a haircut.
Maybe. Well, no, he told us last week he had a beautiful haircut. We wanted to actually show. So, over to Corinda. Corinda, live streaming getting so popular now. Do you guys hear about the Facebook update? There have been so many, Corinda. Can you tell us which one? Now, me and you and Stephen, we are F1 fan, and they got cameras on cars so they can live stream on Facebook or YouTube. That's a good thing. I'll watch out for that.
Oh, then I run into a wall, so. Right, anyway, talking about vehicles, can you see what I'm in, folks?
Just a minute.
Sheila and I are getting a camper van, and we're going, look, this is not this one, this is an old one. And we're going to go, and we're going to have a little cooker, everything like that. And then a porta potty, we're going to take out. And then the 2 dogs, and we're just going to go away for a few days, go down by little rivers with the dog running about them. Going in and having my keto sandwiches that I'll take with me. really looking forward to it, because I would have loved to have been not a traveller, but a kind of person that just jumps and goes around the coast. I've always wanted to go round the coast of Britain. I don't know how long that would take, but just going round the coast, I don't know. How long do you think that would take? You know, if you've done it on a daily basis, I would like that.
Oh, now you're asking Peter. We'll have to find out.
Yeah. And
Quite a trip.
yeah, I'd love that. I'd love to do that. And just have that freedom, keep your phone charged up, get things running for you. And I just think that would be marvellous. Yes. So Sheila's quite excited. I wasn't happy handing over money to her, so I says, I'll help you out. Because it's her that's going to take it. She's going away with the dogs to agility. You know, I could have bought a new bike.
If you drive 120 miles a day,
Right.
it will take you 49 days.
Okay. Right. You could probably do it in two halves. Do Scotland, and then go down to England later on and do it again. That might be a good idea.
Right. And the
Yeah.
place to head for at the moment, Peter, is North Devon, who have
Yeah.
had records a 0 weekly cases, data suggests. So that's the first place ever to actually record 7 days of 0 cases.
That's good. Because
There is a place where everybody's been double vaccinated and they've recorded 0 COVID cases.
where's that?
Called the Fair Isles.
Where? Sorry.
The Fair Isles.
Oh,
You
the Fair
know,
Isles.
famous for the knitting.
Oh yeah, is that the Fair Isles? Yes, yes. Because I mean, I used to have a caravan many years ago when I was a younger man, and we used to travel from Aberdeen right down to Devon, and I just loved it. And we'd park up, and we would get up early in the morning. Is Angelica listening in? By the way.
No, you safe.
Fine.
Angelica doesn't
early in the
watch it.
morning and run to the beach and make sure the Germans were there before us and put our towels down, even on a British beach.
Right.
Angelica's a Brit, isn't she?
She's got a British sense of humour after being here for 33 years. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And well, army sense of humour as well, probably, is it?
Yeah.
Having
Yeah,
been with
indeed.
soldiers. Yeah. And I just thought it was fantastic down there. And of course, I was a soldier down in Dorset, in Bovington. But I hated Dartmoor. Ugh. I got hypothermia in Dartmoor. Ugh, horrible place. Yeah. But see your country before you die.
Right. Okay, let's catch up. Corinda's posting the news, so let's all right, that's Formula One, and then we're on to the next bit of news, which is about Facebook, which we'll take and show on screen, possibly. Live streams to pages are the following features which are not available to group or event streams. So what's happening? The ability to cross-post to the pages. Only live broadcast to a page can be cross-post.
Right.
This video is being cross-posted from live video production to Be.Live in 5 and the live video hub. So yes, let's come back to that in a second, just on a technical note.
Where is Devon? Keep heading west, and you can't fail to hit it from this.
If you sorry,
I was going to say it stretches from north to south coast when you get to the west, so you can't miss Devon.
Yeah, if you Google Torquay, Corinda, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Or Exeter, or Barnstaple, or Ilfracombe.
Yeah, and that's basically where people are going to be going on holiday this year.
How's my blood pressure? I'm taking my blood pressure, but I'll tell you, big news for me tomorrow. I'm so excited tomorrow. Hopefully at 2 o'clock I will find out my blood range from having been on my eating plan of life.
Right.
And I am so hoping that it has dropped dramatically because I would love to come off my tablets. Keep in good health, folks. If you ain't got something, make sure you don't get it. A blight in my life, diabetes. I hate it. But there you go. So I'll tell you the news tomorrow if it's dropped. And I think it will. And the nurse will go, how did you manage that? I'm not telling you. I'll say, because you never told me. My nurse and I were always arguing, always arguing about things. Because you threatened me with insulin. It was maybe a good thing, actually. Maybe a good thing.
So the threat of insulin made you take a really good look.
Yeah. I mean, because I'll tell you why. I did not understand insulin years ago, and I used to take my mum out in the van. She says, "I've got to go back for my insulin." That's woman insulin, and I just didn't understand it. And then I went in one day at 63, and she was lying dead in her chair, and she was on insulin, and I think it was because of that. And when she said, "Peter, I need to put you on insulin shortly if you don't sort yourself out," I says, "I will be sorted out pronto." Now, you've known me for a few years. I'm a determined person. So I tell you, I have got to tell you, at the moment, I am sharp as a tack, and I kid you not, I am sharp as a tack with the business and everything at the moment because I'm in better health. For years, I've been a slug, a sloth, because I liked food. Much better. I'm looking younger now than I did 5 years ago.
You are. We all are. Feeling good as well. I certainly feel better since I moved down to Wiltshire.
I thought you lived in a lovely place before. I'm not, not just the Stratford bit, but the actual house where you lived on the farm.
Yeah. Even so, but
come out your front door and be surrounded by animals and stuff. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just fortunate to have lived there. I'm also fortunate to be living where I am now, and I'm just grateful. Over to Corinda, and Peter.
Like I said, he'll let you know after tomorrow how his blood pressure is.
Yeah. And Peter, I watched the replay of the show yesterday. You had a different background. Yes, Peter did have a different background yesterday. I'm going to switch Peter's camera off for a moment.
He's frozen himself.
Oh yes. See that this is the facility we have. We can actually freeze.
And I think he did it with his phone in his hand, so we'd know why.
That's good timing then.
So
okay.
where's Stephen? Come home, Stephen.
Well, he's just winding me up because he knows I'm looking out for him every 5 minutes, and he's just well. If he wasn't going to show, he could have just said. That's all I'm saying. But he ain't here. He ain't been here. I haven't missed him. Well, do you know what I mean? He should have. He could have let us know. All right. Okay. What would happen if we all froze? That would be interesting. Yeah. All right. I'm just looking for something. If I find it, yep. Okay.
There's not a lot going on in the world, is there?
There isn't. No. It's quite. Oh, wait a minute. The troops are leaving.
Did you miss me?
We're just talking about you, Peter. You're okay.
I turned the sound up.
There are two areas of concern at the moment, and one of them is Afghanistan, where the US and the UK troops are actually pulling out.
Yeah.
And the Taliban will just simply take over again. So the longest war that the US has had was fruitless. It's just And the other one, which is more closer to home, is the US is poised to impose sanctions on Russia for cyber attacks. Now, it's not just the cyber attacks; it's also Ukraine as well.
I've got to say, President Trump did not get involved with any warmongering as such, apart from North Korea. He says, you play around, we'll just strike you. That was it. President Trump basically said, why should we police the world? Get all our troops back. Now, if you look what's happening with this new regime, threatening this, threatening that, Afghanistan. That's what I would say. Come out of Afghanistan and get all the Arab nations to sort it out. Don't come to us to help. No money, just sort it out. If you affect us, we'll sort you out. But no, go into your own little world and do what you want. We are not your policemen. That's what you want. Get on with it. That's my view.
Which is why the US are pulling 2,500 troops out to Afghanistan, and we're doing the same. Yeah. Okay. Right. That was just a note that.
That's about how many people died? 450 or something like that. British troops. A couple from my regiment, one that I knew.
Mm.
No, it's time we stop being the world's policeman and just let people get on with it. And you don't interfere with us. John, you saying anything?
I'm listening to you, Peter.
I think you're a pacifist as well.
Right.
Pacifist. I'll grow vegetables and flowers, thanks, and the rest of you can get on with it.
But then I remember a few years back when things like this happened in a different country. I can't remember. People say, "Where's America?" They're going, "Where's America?" So, what are you calling us for? Sort it out with yourself, with your government. Do we rely on America too much to back us up? It's a question to you.
I think there's a place for Europe and the UK and the USA to actually help where help is needed. I mean, we've walked away from so many places and just left them to rot, basically. And you can think of Syria, you can think of African nations as well, where we could have done something and didn't. So I think that we should help where we can. That's my take.
I don't mind humanitarian aid. Don't no helping. It was something I was going to say.
Okay.
It was something about not putting troops in. No, where we do help, and America helps, and everybody helps each other when there's a long-term interest for them. That's the problem.
That's true. That's very true. Right. Okay. Now this
comment.
Wait a minute. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. We have to help each other when we can. Okay. Now I can, as I'm sat here, I can actually smell the bread because Angelica is baking bread today, and that's brilliant. Because you bake your own bread, Peter.
Yes, and I'll tell you, there's nothing like the smell of your home-baked bread cooking in the oven. Lovely jubbly, And, oh yes, I enjoy my baking. And so does Sheila now. We work as a team. We work as a team now. And we do it together. It's lovely. I like it. And, I'm able to have a cheeseburger with a roll, and there's only 1.9 grams of carbohydrate in it. Lovely jubbly.
I used to buy bread at Asda.
Sorry?
I used to buy in-store baked bread at Asda, but it's
Right.
very bland. And
Mm.
now I buy my in-store baked bread at Lidl. And that's how it's pronounced. Lidl. Lidl, as in Lidl. As in Lidl.
Yeah.
Apparently, the situation is that people have stopped buying for similar reasons to John. They stopped buying bread, daily bread, and they're into specialty breads. So Asda are not going to be baking the normal loaves in store. It's all going back to a central facility, and we sent out to the stores from there. No, that's wrong, John.
Oh, no, you're correct. I just think it's a mistake. You will not get. I mean, okay, I know I've switched my allegiance to Lidl, and it smells gorgeous when you're working in the morning and the oven's been on. That's the thing that people are going to miss in Asda is the smell of fresh bread being baked.
All right. Okay. Yes and no. Jein, as the Germans would say, because
they're going to stick it in an aerosol smell and spray.
No, the central depot will be sending out part baked loaves to the bakeries, so you will still have the smell of fresh bread. It just won't have been done on the premises originally. Yeah, it will just be ready to.
That's what happens at Lidl. It comes in as and then they put the tray into the oven.
Somebody told them it's a half-baked idea.
Yeah. Oh, nice one, Peter.
No, they're very clever, that Lidl's and Aldi, because you walk in, you smell that bread.
But they don't do bread baking at Aldi. It's only Lidl that do bread.
Well, we do. We've got 80% of my purchases from my low carb keto from Aldi now. That's where we get most of the stuff that we need. And I didn't realise there was linseed milled stuff, oat fibre, names, arrowroot, names I've never heard of before. But I'm learning them all now, quite enjoying it. And do you know what I had last night for my food? I had chicken legs and I had a thing called pak choi, John. Have you heard of them?
Lots of people grow pak choi on the allotments. It's a Chinese vegetable.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. And no, I've got a new zest for eating because with the flavor, we were kind of canny. Now I can taste the food. What's that?
That was my phone ringing, but it's connected to the PC, so it was ringing on the PC, even though I've turned the volume off on the phone. So I've just disconnected it from the PC.
There's a guy called the Spice Guy, if you like curries, and he makes low carb curries and things like that, and bread, the naan bread. Oh, I used to love naan bread, but now I can eat it again, made his way. I can't go. I won't go on anymore. That's it. Because my lips are starting to lick.
Right, time for a quick advertisement then. Tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. in the UK, that's a Friday, is music night with the 678 music show, and there will be several of us playing music and generally having a good time. And it will include, this week it includes 12 of my favourite tracks. And we can play licensed. Well, we can play the music and nobody's going to stop us. I'll post a link later. It's out on Mixcloud, which is a British site which has spent 3 years working with record companies to actually make sure that royalties are paid to the artists. So if I play, for example, a Rolling Stones song, then the Rolling Stones will get royalties. Simple as. So, and it's British. It's British. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Good idea, that, if you wanted to become like a DJ online, isn't it? But remember, you can only do it in that web page. Is that correct?
That's correct. As soon as if you tried to share it to Facebook or YouTube, then it would be stopped within 20 seconds, I would guess.
Yeah.
Because they don't like you playing the Rolling Stones.
Do you know, Facebook, I know you're listening. What a great idea that would be for you, for us to play licensed music, and we can pay £1 a month or something like that, because you make a lot of money. I know you do. Think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you said they could do that. I mean, that's what Mixcloud has spent 3 years doing, is actually getting the license agreements in place. Supposedly, Facebook do have license agreements, I think, with Sony,
Right.
but not with everybody. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I've found out to my cost about Sony. Anything like Elvis Presley and that I do, and it's a Sony film I've been doing, no, using the backing track, they soon hatch at you. But so remind me again. So that goes to your Mixcloud website. So your job is then to market people to get to your, just what you've been looking at all the time recently. You know.
Yeah,
Great idea.
Yeah. And over to Corinda. Same as usual. YouTube's as bad as, well, nearly as bad as Facebook for giving me a slap on the wrist. Which we had one we had one yesterday from a show that was done 7 months ago.
Yeah.
And you think, well, you know, sad. But on Mixcloud, we can play music. Sorry, Peter.
No, that's okay. One of the things, this is what's happening. All these radio stations and everything have had it so good. All of a sudden, you will become competition to them in the long run, you know, about all the local people like you. Even I could put on a, hey, join Pete and have a Frank Sinatra night with Pete. Send in your requests. And yeah.
Do it yourself. OBS is free. You just need OBS. VLC player is free to play the music.
Yeah.
And the site, if you want to go live on the site, is £9 a month. And for a hobby, it's a no-brainer. And you can go live, play any music you want, 24/7. And I mean, I've now got 40 people whose shows I've watched and who've become contacts. And it's like live video. It's a very friendly area, and the people who play music, it's incredible, the wide range of people who are actually playing music. And
question. How do people on the night when you're live, how do they kind of speak to you? Is there a chat facility? Stuff like that?
Yeah, there's a chat facility. Let's just have a quick look. I'll go and bring up the site. So that's in progress. That'll be with us in a minute. Yeah, there's a full chat facility so that you can have a two-way communication. And yeah, and you can go and visit.
Yeah, it was always going to come, and that's great.
It's just to have the freedom to do it.
Yeah,
you know.
As I say, all these platforms that are restrictive towards us and things like that, your day is coming. Just like your friend that was a military policeman. What do you call him again?
Joe.
Joe Shepherd. Where if they went? I tried to friend him, but I think he was gone from the platform already.
He had to reinvent himself. Facebook stopped him from live broadcasting on his Joe Shepherd account.
Yeah.
So he had to disappear and come back and start again.
Right. Okay. Is he under a different name?
Yes, he's now calling himself Joseph Shepherd.
Okay. But they'll have his IP.
He's managed it. He's in Ireland. Who knows?
Use a VPN. Do you use a VPN, by the way?
No.
John?
No.
Do you think they're worth it?
I use a VPN when I dial into a client's site. Right.
When you dial to work over the internet and everything for them. What software is it called? Let Me In or something like that?
We use Splashtop.
Splashtop.
Yeah, Let Me In's too expensive.
All right.
Log me in, please.
Log Me In. Sorry.
Yeah. No, there is a Let Me In as well.
All right. Okay. Got questions.
There's got to be 50 different ways to do this now.
Leave your lover.
No. Log into your friend's PC. The latest version of RDP Remote Desktop, which is Microsoft's product, is pretty secure now as well. And that's free.
Okay.
Did you know that you can do remote desktop from within Chrome using a Chrome add-in?
Google My Desktop.
So I can, for instance, remote desktop means that I can be in Chrome and I can see your desktop and I can manage your.
Yeah, that's good. Is it secure?
No, it's free. You have to make your mind up. Well, is it important? But for me, where I use that is if I'm at like I've got a client with 8 PCs spread around a fairly large building.
Yeah.
I can log into any of them from being just sat in one, and it costs nothing.
No, talking about all these things, you know about cycling. Just talking about gadgets. Have you ever thought yourself and you said, I wonder if this has been made yet? So I'll give you an example. I had an armband for my phone. So my phone was here. And I thought, wait a minute, I'll put it on my wrist to take it like that and look in the bike, see what comes in, right? But guess what? It was an armband. It wasn't, it was slipping and sliding. So I just put in wrist holder for smartphone. And I'll tell you, I've got it and it's cracking. You've got a thumb bit you put through, you then Velcro on, another bit here with the strap, and my S10 sits in front of me. The only problem I've got is I can't use face recognition in that because it upsets my credit cards and things like that because you've got to put in a number. And that's the only thing that annoys me inside it. I have to stop and make a pattern. Any way around that, John?
I don't, never even thought about it.
Okay, so but it's just a gadget I
You
needed.
can work
So
out most people's patterns anyway from the oil from your finger that leaves on the on the surface of the glass.
But the gadgets I got from my bike are brilliant because I've got my phone on my Bluetooth phone on my helmet, and it's a wireless and it's a two-way radio, and I've got my thing on there, and I've got Strava, and hey, Bob's your uncle. Bob's your uncle.
Indeed. Technology is wonderful. And over to Corinda, and Corinda is reminding us that Periscope has disappeared. But there is now Twitter Studio, and you can go live on Twitter using Twitter Studio. Periscope is going to gradually disappear. If you want to download your videos, now's the time to do it.
I've never been on Periscope.
I've never used it.
No, never used it.
That's what you think.
No, I mean that's an
you haven't knowingly been on Periscope.
All right. Yes.
But Kevin used to love it, didn't he, Mr. Arrow? He was on there all the time.
John, have you used TikTok?
No.
Stephen?
I never visited the site either.
No.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. It's just the purpose. I did download the app, and right. I had it on my phone for a day, but then I thought, no.
Yeah.
Have you, Peter?
No, but yeah, I've now got to look at these things. I'll tell you why. I'm 61. But some of my clients who have bought their flats and houses together may only be 22 to 24 to 25 or whatever. They'll be using TikTok and stuff like that because they think Facebook, a lot of them is for fuddy-duddies. It's for their mum and dads. Oh, I'm not going there. My mum and dad use that. So you've got to look at what potential customers are using. And I've done a TikTok.
How'd it go?
Well, it was okay because I'm going, this is what I done. And I had my uniform on. I said, is this TikTok? I said, why on TikTok? It's just TikTok. People were making comments, but it's something I'm going to look at. But you've got to keep up with the times. See, TikTok. We've got a TikTok fan there. Yeah. No, I don't use that either. Too expensive.
No, it is too expensive. Okay. Yeah.
Does any use? What do you guys use? So, if I want to write this book, I just can't be bothered with it. What would you use to get the message onto the computer that would type it? What do you think's the best software?
Not sure
Okay,
what
you
you're suggesting. What message do you want to get on? Oh, you want to send people a video message?
No. What I want to do is, if I want to write a book, which I
Yeah.
hope to do one day, just an example. I said, hi, my name's Peter Stewart, and I've been involved in the pest control industry for X amount of years. So where did it all begin? I said, just an example. I was born in Aberdeen, blah, 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 blah. All that sort of stuff.
Well, you can record all of that on your camera, can't you, that you're using now?
Yeah.
And then
send it to
in
somebody.
a video editor, such as InVideo. I've just seen Stephen after crafty poof.
I did. Yeah, I don't know whether we get kicked off air or not. I don't think we will. Oh, dear.
Chris says TikTok's excellent to attract young
I
people.
keep having to have my Coca-Cola, so I'm just as bad, Stephen.
No, what my accounting bookkeeper, who's actually a publisher as well, he said, well, if you speak it and get it into text and send it over, I'll tidy it up, you see. That's what he was thinking.
There's loads of book writing software out there.
Without typing, though.
Yeah, you can dictate. Look, have you got a copy of Word?
Yeah.
You can dictate into Word. You don't need any extra software. It's there.
But does it understand UK, like full stop or period, comma, all these sorts of things that annoy me?
Figure what country you're coming from and all that sort of stuff. So you can say full stop instead of period.
Who's Wesley Warren?
Wesley Warren. Dunno.
He popped out of there like a rabbit. Oh.
Thank you, Wesley. Nice to see you. Scrivener. Yes, that's another authoring piece of software which is well respected. You can do it in Google Docs as well, Peter. So if you're not a Microsoft person, you can use Google Docs.
I'll give it.
Do your dictation.
I think they've improved, haven't they? Video first.
Yeah, I mean, Scrivener's just an alternative, word processing program, really. But it's more for the literature writing than the. No.
Mm-hmm.
Incidentally, just a quick question to Bob, your real name instead of I keep forgetting. My mind.
Find what?
UK first video.
Corinda.
Mental. What I was going to ask him was, do you go to the big Neasden Temple? Do you know Neasden Temple?
He lives a bit further out than that, doesn't he?
No. Neasden's in West London.
Staines.
No, it's actually in near Wembley.
That's where Corinda lives, Staines.
Yeah, Corinda, beg your pardon. So, Corinda, have you been to Neasden Temple? I used to stay around the corner from the Neasden Temple. Beautiful building. Adobe Suite is really intuitive now. Okay.
I've got Adobe Suite, but they're putting the price up next month, so I'm umming and ahhing as to whether I'm going to keep the rental.
I've been there. I used to live around your area, Corinda, and I loved it down there in the canal. Oh, beautiful. I need to get out of this place. I really do. Never hear of it. Well, it's a big, you think you're in India because it's the Indian temple in Neasden. And it's just destroyed. It's been taken from India and planted there,
Well, we've got multiple of those in Birmingham as well.
Oh, yeah.
Central Mosque. Funnily enough, we have a place called Poets Corner,
Yeah,
which has the second largest mosque in Birmingham on it, and nothing to do with poets at all anymore.
All right. Oh, well, if you're of that faith, you should go around and see Neasden Temple. It's not far from you, you know. Not far at all.
So this is the user interface for your radio show.
This is mixcloud.com, and this is where you're all invited to at 5 o'clock tomorrow as we go out for the first time ever live as a group playing music. And as I say, if I click the live button now, you can see these are the people who are broadcasting live at the moment, and you can listen to their shows for free. And you pick your particular category of music, whether it be bass, beats, pop, rock, electronic, funk, and you can listen to the radio station. The difference here, of course, is that you can actually chat with the DJ. Okay, now I can't select any of these because they may be playing copyright music, so I've got to be very careful. But if you go to my profile tomorrow, you see, I've already got 248 followers, so there should be a big crowd there tomorrow.
That's good.
Well, it's time to fess up. I'll only own up to this here. I actually joined Mixcloud back in 2013.
Wow.
When it first launched, everybody was on there, and we used to sign up for things just for the crack, really. And I discovered when I went there that I already had 200 contacts, which looks good nowadays. Yeah.
Oh. So, Stephen, do you do a lot of chat and then put on a music, or does it remind you of when you were a DJ?
That's a long time ago, Peter. Those were happy days. The KSC Club in Nelson. I don't know yet. I mean, I put together, mixtapes. We all used to make mixtapes back in the day. This is the electronic equivalent of doing your own mixtapes with your own favorite music. So what I'm doing is ripping CDs, putting the tracks together on my desktop. I've got a piece of DJing software, and it's just awesome. I'm in my element. It's a total diversion. It's live, but not live, if you see what I mean. Yeah. And it's playing music. And basically...
It's a thing I don't do, is listen to music. Not a lot.
That's because you sing it. Yeah. Okay. So, right.
What's NFT market? What's that? NFT.
Wait a minute. Let's find the comments. Catch up.
It's Wesley.
NFT. Are you actually educators, Wesley? We're not up with the lingo.
Where's Wesley from?
Don't know. Thank you for following, Brenda.
Non-fungible tokens. Don't have a clue what that means. That's what the internet tells me NFT stands for.
And Chris is saying the sound on Mixcloud is perfect. The other thing about Mixcloud is we're being recorded now, and when we listen to the playback, the sound is reasonable. But if you were doing a podcast, it just isn't good enough. Yeah, you want better quality. So podcasters generally go out at a higher rate. Okay. Mixcloud is one of the few sites that goes out very high quality. It goes out at 320 kbs against our 64, and it means that when you play back the track on Mixcloud or you listen on Mixcloud, it's the same as if you were playing it locally. It's absolutely incredible. Well, close to, very close to. John, it's over to you.
It's mentioned non-fungible tokens, look, but I don't know what a non-fungible token is. Anyway, so it's goodbye from him up in Scotland in his camper van. Let's hope he doesn't break down. Let's hope he gets to the campsite and finds it's not full. And it's goodbye from Stephen, who you can listen to back in his DJ mode tomorrow afternoon. And it's goodbye from me. He'll probably be down the allotments when Stephen's broadcasting. So see you all same time, same place next week. Bye.
You can listen on your mobile, John. Just saying.